Hello again, YouTube, and welcome to Mama Jenny's Mexican Journey. That's my channel, and thank you for joining me today. Now, I know I promised you that on my next video, I would take you to Tequila, which is that little town that's about 45 minutes away from where I live, and that's where agave is grown, that is turned into tequila. So tequila is there fermented, it is distilled, it is bottled and shipped. And what I really like about that little town is that there are many tours from different distilleries. There's the Jose Cuervo, but my favorite one, I guess, is the one that is bottled by Tres Mujeres, 3 women. That's the best tour for me, and I would have liked to take you there, but as they say in the proverbial saying, life comes at you fast. In other words, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. So this is what happened to us. My husband of 45 years, my videographer, got very, very ill, and we ended up in the hospital. He was there for 2.5 weeks. 5 of those days he was in intensive care. No, it was not COVID related. He had a massive hemorrhage and needed acute care very seriously and very quickly. And so I thought I would use this opportunity, since the emergency has now been abated. He is doing very well. He's home with me. I would show you exactly what a Mexican hospital looks like. Many people, especially in the United States and maybe other countries, have their own idea of what a Mexican hospital looks like. But I am going to show you the real deal, the place where my husband was taken to, where he was cared for, and where he got well. So come with me. So here I am at the hospital in this emergency situation, and I'm beginning to wonder pretty much what any normal person would wonder in a situation like that. Are the doctors here qualified to take care of my husband? Will the hospital give me competent care? And what are the doctors' qualifications? And can they actually handle this situation that we're in? Well, my mind is put to rest very quickly. And this is what happened. Before we arrived at the hospital, one of the sisters in our congregation, who is a doctor and has privileges in this hospital, arranged for a doctor to meet us almost immediately on arrival and to take care of our care. The doctor when he arrived, immediately made us feel very comfortable by his general presence. His bedside manner was respectful of our situation and very comforting. But not only that, it turns out that this surgeon is a fellow of the American School of Surgeons. Now that is big time. He trained in the U.S., he taught in the U.S., and now he's here in Mexico, and he is going to be the primary surgeon of our situation. Yes. But not only that, we had another primary doctor on our team. His specialty is nephrology, which we really didn't need, but he's also qualified in internal medicine. And again, his English is perfect. I understand that speaking English and understanding English is a requirement, an integral part of the training of doctors in Mexico. So if you are ever in Mexico and need medical care, you will actually be in good health. So together, these 2 doctors handled all aspects of our care. They were the ones that other members of the team, because there were other doctors involved, they answered to. These were the doctors that my husband and I, communicated directly with to give us answers to any questions that we had, that were discovered or anything that we needed to know, they were the ones that gave us the information. They were very personable or very approachable. It seems almost always there or available to us to contact. And so that is something that I have never experienced in any other country. And I found that because we were not from that country, from Mexico, that this gave us a level of confidence that could not be beat. So that was to us very impressive. All the staff in the hospital, from the ancillary workers, the people in the restaurants, and the people, the security guards, you name it, they all had proper PPE, face guards, masks, gloves. They seem to have no problem in procuring the proper PPE that was needed to take care of the hospital surroundings, the patients themselves. We felt very safe at this hospital. This hospital where we were is one of the hospitals in Guadalajara that's designated to be COVID-free. In other words, there are no patients that are admitted who have the COVID-19. The staff, as I mentioned before, everyone has the proper PPE. Security, I think it even seems that they hired more uh, security because they went through the hospital making sure that no visitors' rooms had more visitors than was allowed. And if we were in the waiting room and we were too close together, they would appear almost out of nowhere to make sure that we kept the proper distance. The elevators have areas marked out where people are allowed to stand, and there are only 4 people allowed in each elevator at any given time. Antibacterial dispensers were throughout the hospital for hands-free dispensing. And as a whole, I found that the whole environment, the floors, everything about the hospital was kept crystal clean, very, very clean. The room next to where my husband was empty, and I personally timed the housekeeping, one housekeeper in that room, and he was in there for over half an hour. And I also peeped and saw what a thorough job he was doing. All surfaces were wiped, especially on the beds and so on. And so I felt that even though many people have their own ideas about what hospitals might be in other countries, Mexico does an excellent job keeping standards up and keeping themselves, the staff, and patients free of contamination. Here is what the ICU looks like. In the beginning, I said my husband was here for 4 days in the ICU. He was actually there for seven days. Oh. And then the MRI rooms, and where x-rays are taken. And while the hospital experience in Mexico might surprise you, they are modern and lack none of the equipment and expertise that are provided in the US or in any other country. The elevators. The elevators are all painted or decorated in very fun pieces of works of art. And this I found refreshing because in most hospitals it's kind of like very sterile and institutionalized, the look of the area. But here it's was attractive and just gave a lighter feel to the heaviness that can come about when you have someone who's in the hospital that's sick. You just need something good to look at, and I found these elevators provided that. And not only that, but there were pieces of art throughout the hospital. They were like reproductions of famous art that you would see in a museum, but they thought they would put it here, and I found that to be very refreshing. I have pictures of the OR. Of course, I wasn't allowed to go in and take pictures, but here is what the OR looks like. So let's go to the hospital room. We had a suite. We chose to have this type of accommodation because it would give us the space we needed to take care of my husband really well, and also that it would provide a place where I could stay overnight if I wanted to. And I did stay. So let's look around some more. The lobby waiting area. This is the one on the ground floor, and each floor has its own waiting area, and it's really nicely decorated. It's nicely set out, and it's kind of set up so that groups of families can be together, or individuals, small groups, large groups. But I found it to be very attractive and very welcoming in the way that it presented itself. So I hope this video has been helpful to give you some insight into what a Mexican hospital is like. Now keep in mind that this is not one of the big hospitals, but it's still modern and it's very clean and provides effective, and may I add, cost-effective care. So thank you, YouTube, for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.